Hey everyone, and welcome back to another week of the Great Garden Challenge, where I'm taking this 15 by 20 foot garden space behind me here, and we're seeing how much dollar value worth of food we can grow out of this over the entire season from March through October. And we are making tracks. I believe that as of right now, we are at just peaked over $400 worth of value already. And so I can't wait to see how much we're actually going to be able to do. Last week we had huge harvests coming out of this garden, and this week we're continuing on with more harvests. So if you haven't put in your guess yet, go drop down into the description. There's a link down there where you can enter your guess of how much you think that we're going to be able to grow in this garden, and whoever gets the closest is going to win the Great Garden giveaway, which includes $500 worth of free seeds, a free Birdies Raised Garden Bed, and lifetime unlimited level access to the Seedtime garden planning software. Really fun stuff. So go put in your entry. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to this channel. And now let's talk about what happened this week in the garden. So this week started out with coming out and looking over the garden, and we had a bunch more harvests of Swiss chard and kale and parsley. And I think we had our first cilantro harvest and lettuce as well. Lots of harvests coming out of this garden. But there was one thing that we harvested that was new, and that was beet greens. What we ended up doing is we came through our beets and we thinned them out, because we want our beets to really be more like 2 to 3 inches apart, so they form really nice beets. So our beets were seeded a little bit thicker, and we were able to come in and thin them out, and so that they are spaced a little bit further apart, and we're gonna let those grow bigger into bigger beet bulbs. And so we had a really nice bunch of beet greens that we were able to take and weigh and harvest as well. Which, by the way, is a really awesome way to really maximize your harvests in your garden. Because when you have something like beets, where it's gonna be coming up and you know you're gonna need to thin it, what you can do is you can allow those to grow to a nice size. And then when you pull those thinnings out, you have a nice amount of beet greens that you can cook up and eat, and those are really nice in and of themselves. But if you don't thin them really wide yet, if you keep them thinned to fairly close together, you can let those continue to grow, and then you can do a thinning of baby beets where you actually have little beets, you know, through there. And then you can let the final ones grow all the way to their full size, and you can have big beets that come out at the very end. And so it just maximizes your harvest out of that space. Look, we have a couple beets here that are really already forming some nice bulbs on them. It's looking beautiful. And don't worry, if you thin them and your plants kind of fall over like this, with some nice watering, they should perk back up again. And then later on in the week, I came out and did a final cut. It was a third cut on our baby greens. You know, these baby greens, third time is not the charm, I don't think. With these baby greens, I don't think the third time is the charm. I think 2 cuttings is the ideal. They really got looking kind of ratty, and has all kinds of holes in them. Bugs started eating them. And so anyways, I did a final harvest off of them. Consider them seconds when it comes to actually valuing them when it comes to our garden totals. But it was our last harvest of the baby greens. So I cut them all off, and then I came through and took a stirrup hoe and just sliced them off at the base, all of those baby greens, pulled them all out and cleaned them out, because I wanted to put in a succession seeding of baby greens in their place. So we pulled all of those out. So I just finished taking out all of the baby greens on the side of our green beans here, and did some weeding by the peas. You can see here's my bin of baby greens that's gonna go on the compost pile. And we cleared out this bed here with our tomatoes and cucumbers and peppers and squash here as well. And yeah, next up comes trellising and planting, seeding in more baby greens as a succession crop underneath these crops. And my plan is to seed in the baby greens on either side of our bed here. But one of the first things that I need to do is take these tomatoes and tie them up, because as they're laying down, you know, here they're laying over the place I want to seed it, etc. So got some nice natural jute twine and started tying up our tomato plants, and you'll notice that we don't tie them super tight around the stem because that tomato plant is going to continue growing over the season. That stem is gonna get a lot bigger, and so we just wanna keep it kind of loose as we are tying them up, but I did wanna pull them up off of the ground so that I could seed my baby greens down underneath. So I've seeded my kale mix in here, and actually we did another kind of musculin mix, dash kale on this side. Now I'm just coming in and covering up those seeds, and we'll end up turning on the sprinkler out here so that it keeps this moist. So we let these little guys sprout. This will be our next batch of baby greens. Now on this side, I'm gonna leave some space for this zucchini because it's gonna keep growing out here. So I'm gonna start the baby greens a little bit further back here. Just gonna make a little trench for them here. And I'm gonna see if I can do 2 rows here as well. I think we can. It's gonna be right up against the post there. This time, we had some baby kale that we put in next to the peas and on down next to the green beans. And then we came in and we seeded some lettuce mixes on the other side. So one of them is a musculin mix that has a mix of some, I think it's either some mustards or brassicas in with the lettuce. And then we have a pure, actually heat-tolerant lettuce mix that I'm gonna probably be growing a lot more of over the heat of the summer because I want some nice fresh salads in the middle of the summer, and baby greens are the best. And this heat-tolerant lettuce mix, they claim, at least the reviews, people say that they have been growing this in over 90-degree temperatures without the lettuce getting bitter, and it's doing great. So I'm excited. And now I'm gonna take a minute to congratulate Christine Bozeman for winning our giveaway from last week. I've dropped a comment down below yours on how you can claim this. You won one of the sets of Bootstrap Farmer seed starting trays. So go check those out, and I can't wait for you to start trying to use them and growing your own starts. It is so much fun, and these are some of the best trays out there. For everyone else watching, we are doing another giveaway. If you leave a comment down below this video on anything in this video, then you'll be automatically entered to win, and we're gonna be giving away a soil blocker, because one of the things that we highly encourage is making gardening a part of your lifestyle, not just a single event. So instead of just seeding things in the spring, having a one-time experience with a bunch of harvest, but to actually set up those succession plantings so that you're having a continual harvest through your entire season. And one of these soil blockers is one of the best ways to be able to easily do this from home. Super easy to create your own little soil blocks, start your starts throughout the season. Drop a comment down below and you'll enter to win one of these soil blockers. And then lastly, in the outside garden here, I came back today, and number one, I noticed that our arugula that was coming up is being eaten by bugs. Eeks. You see that? He is literally munching away on our arugula right now. There's another one. All right, so I gotta figure out what to do with these little bugs, because I wanna save my arugula crop, which is already, a good amount is already eaten of the arugula crop. So we got to figure out what to do here. I don't have a solution for it at the moment yet, and so we may just lose this arugula crop. I may need to try seeding again. If I was going to try to do something, I would probably get like a soapy solution and spray it across the whole area to try and just kind of spot treat and hit those bugs and get rid of them, and then hopefully there would not be as much of an infestation when it comes back. But we'll see what happens. And now I want to jump in with a quick little shout out to our fundraiser that we are doing during this series, where we are raising funds that we're going to be giving to an organization called Farm Stew that helps lift families out of extreme poverty and into an abundant life. And we're looking to raise enough funding to lift 100 families out of poverty. So if you would like to make a huge impact in the world as well as growing your garden, jump down and give a donation to this fund, and you can be part of actually teaching, because the Farm Stew, what they do is they actually teach people how to grow their own food and even sell it to the local community, and it's all a very holistic program that helps lift people out of poverty. So go check it out in the description below, and anyone who gives $1,000 or more is going to trigger another Bonanza giveaway. So go check it out below, and a huge thank you to every single one of you who have already given to the Farm Stew Fund, and we can't wait to see what it's gonna do in the lives of so many people. Okay, so our tomatoes and cucumbers and squash and even the green beans have struggled just a little bit. So I am going to give them a little nutrient boost here. I sprayed them with some of the Macro Pack and Micro Pack yesterday. And today I'm pulling out some old fertilizers that we have that we really need to use up anyways. So I'm going to be putting on some tomato vegetable herb fertilizer here, as well as some BioThrive Grow and Bloom and some AgriGrow Ultra. As you can see, these are old, they need to be used up. I don't even know how effective these things are anymore, but we're going to go ahead and water them in with some of that and hopefully give them a little bit of a nice nutrient boost. Okay, so I'm going to start out with this vegetable fertilizer here. And what I'm going to do is literally just take some of it and sprinkle it along under these plants. I might scratch it in a little bit like this, just to give it a little scratching in. That's what we like to do, if we can. We call this basically side dressing your plants, because you're just giving them a little bit of a nutrient boost on the side. Tomatoes, just gonna put some around the base of each one of these. So truthfully, these aren't doing terrible. They just don't have the deep, rich green that I'd like to see in them of health. This is a little bit closer here. So you get a little bit of a darker, richer green. But you see these older leaves just not looking very healthy. So I think they're gonna bounce back. I think they're gonna do well, but we're gonna go ahead and give them this nutrient boost. People are probably gonna ask, so here's what I did here. I put in about a tablespoon of the BioThrive Bloom and Grow, 2 tablespoons of AgriGrow Ultra in a gallon of water here. It's about a gallon-ish, and I'm gonna go water these in. Okay, this is concentrated stuff, so I'm not trying to like give the plants tons of water with this. Gonna go along, let it seep in for each of these. All right, so now that our peas are tall enough over there, the sprinkler on that corner doesn't actually get everything wet. And so I've come and put another sprinkler on this side. We actually have another motion activated sprinkler somewhere. I need to check with my dad to find it, but I want to keep this moist right now because remember our baby greens are seeded in here. I'm really wanting those to germinate nicely. So I wanted to water it from both ends. So I'm gonna water it on this end and turn on the motion activated sprinkler on that end, and we'll get it from all directions here. Eventually, I still want to set up my own little sprinkler system down the rows. I just have not had time to continue on with that, but a huge thank you to everyone who posted comments about that. Haven't found like the solution yet, but I think that we're getting in the right direction and I have some ideas. No. Yeah, I know, sure enough. Back inside our seed starting house, very end of last week, I totally missed showing this at all, and that is we needed to seed a succession planting of lettuce. So I seeded another succession planting of lettuce, and it is already sprouted and coming up nicely. 2 lettuce successions in the seed house right now. We've got our tomatoes that are gonna be going in our brassica bed here shortly. As these brassicas come out, we have a determinate crop of tomatoes that are gonna go in. They are nice and really tall right now. I pretty much always seed a couple seeds in each block. And then when they get about to this stage, I come in and I'm going to thin them out. So I'm just gonna take this out, down to 1 plant per block. And I'll just take these and throw them away. I do that because number 1, I wanna make sure that I get a lettuce plant in every single one of these blocks. And number 2, the reason why I thin them out is I really only want 1 lettuce plant growing in each space. You can do 2 lettuce plants that grow next to each other. They just don't form like a really nice 1 lettuce head. So I'm gonna take those, throw those away. Our other lettuce up here is growing beautifully, and our tomatoes here, look at them, they're just reaching up to the top here. growing amazingly. I need to put them down where they get some higher light. And then we're gonna need to, probably this next week, I'm gonna take them and pot them on into some larger blocks. And the second thing here is that you may notice mold covering the top of my blocks here. These are repurposed soil blocks that I had started, I think it was the green onions in, and they never germinated really well. So anyways, they ended up drying out, re-wet them down, made them into blocks again. And when you do that, it's much more likely that you're gonna get a lot more mold like you have here. And the thing is that it's really nothing to worry about. At least it has never really negatively impacted my plants so far. You can see it here on this lettuce as well. With newer blocks, you don't get as much mold. You will see some green, like algae start growing on the top of them and stuff. You might get a little bit of mold. And it probably depends on your soil potting mix and stuff like that as well. But definitely repurposing them, you'll probably see a lot more mold growth, and I wouldn't worry about it so much if you do see it. And finally, I did get to harvest a little bit more today as well. We harvested some more kale, some more Swiss chard, and some more parsley and cilantro out of the garden as well. And the final harvest of our little Hackeri turnips that really got eaten up by bugs. So I ended up just chopping off the top greens of them. So I'm looking forward to posting those back inside the spreadsheet. If you haven't seen it, go down and check out the spreadsheet down in the description below, and you'll be able to see the totals of everything that we have harvested over this time. So that wraps it up for this week. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you're enjoying as we go step by step through this whole season. If you have missed anything, we started this garden from scratch, from lawn, sod. We literally cut the grass off and prepared these beds from scratch. So if you want to catch it from the beginning, jump back to the previous videos in this playlist on our YouTube channel, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to be notified of new videos as they come out, because every single week we're posting a new video as we go through the whole season, and you get to see it all happen in front of your eyes. So thanks again for watching. Hope that your garden is doing awesome, and I can't wait to see you next time.